Welcome to Konoha Crush, a clandestine effort to exhaustively research and document events occurring in and around the village hidden in the leaves. We're Halo.
I'm Cam.
Hi, oh my god, wow, we're back. We're back. It's Konoha Crush time again. It's been 1 billion years.
Yeah, I got COVID.
Yeah, it's very sad. It's very sad.
Lol.
All sorts of tragedies occurred to us.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly just that one.
Yeah, it was mostly just the COVID.
Yeah, but it was like compounding, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. But besides
Cries.
illnesses, holding you.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
But yeah, besides illnesses, have you been up to anything that you want to talk about?
Okay. So here's what I did when I had COVID.
Mm-hmm.
I played through the Sly Cooper series.
Yeah. Some say you're still fighting for your life in there right now.
Some would say.
Some would say. Turns out there were four of those. Oops.
Shouldn't
Probably a
have.
mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Oh yeah, what do you want to say about that?
I don't know. I just want to acknowledge. I just need credit. I just need.
Right.
I need recognition.
You need like rewards for your gamers' labors, your gamers' endeavors.
Right. Like, the games are a fucking roller coaster.
Mm-hmm.
Sly 2 was so good. Sly 3 could have been a lot better. It was mostly just kind of boring. Right, okay. So I'm gonna get fucking into it, right?
Yeah, no, get into it, please, by all means. Like, what are we gonna fucking do? Talk about these episodes of Naruto for more than like 20 minutes?
No. So, okay. Sly 1, it's a fairly early PS2 game, right? There's not a lot to it. Could stand to be less racist. But as the first entry in the series, I had hoped that they would outgrow that.
There would be some time for reflection there.
Yeah. Sly 2 rolls around.
Mm-hmm.
So fucking good. So
they cracked the code.
They did it. They solved it. So like in Sly 1, how it worked was that there were these little hub areas, and then every mission was to like go and fetch the key at the end of the mission that all like came together in like the overworld as this like set piece lock to unlock, right? Depending on the stage. And then you would do that, but then every level was still just collecting keys for that set piece lock, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sly 2 rolls around, and like, first off, you can play as the other two characters in the Sly gang. It's like really fun. It's like really good, actually. They did it so well in Sly 2. And it just becomes about like actually setting up and playing out these like big set piece heists to go after this like, you know, thing you're stealing from everybody, this common item. And it's just really well executed. It's like so fun to like go into a stage and then it's just like, okay, we just entered the stage, so let's like scout everything out as Sly, right? Let's have all the other characters like do their little things to like set up the heist and like gather a little bit more intel or like whatever, and then you move on to like the next stage where you're like actively preparing the things you need to execute the heist, and then you just fucking do it, and it's this like big cool culmination that always like ends, and like the goal being to swipe something and get away is like so strong for that like premise and that like setup, right? Like it's just perfect.
Right, yeah.
So in Sly 3 you don't steal things anymore.
Right, like Sly 3, rather than being like a series of globetrotting like heists, is about like going and defeating some supervillains or whatever on the way to getting all of the money that's already yours.
or whatever. Like,
Yeah,
that's the way
right.
it pitches itself.
Right, and like the format is still very similar, right? It's still like show up in a new location, scout the place out as Sly, you set up this like thing that you're doing, and then you execute the thing, right? Like it's a very similar format. But it not just being about stealing the thing you need from this guy that's like doing bad stuff anyway, so you don't feel bad about it, is like so different texturally.
Right, no, absolutely.
Right, and like, and then the villain just kind of sucks. Like the guy at the end, because he has absolutely no build-up. Like he's just some guy that happens to live there. And like, to give him like some amount of substance at the very end, they like do this like thing where he's like kind of acting as like a foil for Bentley and being like, oh, I was the smart one in like a previous Sly gang, right? And like, so like I have the rights to this vault as much as anybody else. Not just the Cooper family. And like, you know, had grievances with like Sly's dad or whatever. I don't fucking care. And Bentley was just like, Sly is not like that. And then that Sly isn't like that. And so the good guys win. Right?
Right. Like, it feels like the whole game winds up like setting up this completely like it gets kind of hides its own supply. It's like, okay, the Coopers are the most important guys in the whole world. And then, like, it sets up this argument of, like, okay, well, here we got a villain who's, like, maybe, like, put off by this. He's, like, against this. And ultimately, like, makes no real argument other than, like, no, it's fine that he's, like, the most important guy in the world because he's good and nice. And, that's the conflict of the game. And it feels basically impossible to care about.
Yeah, it's just not great. Thieves in Time is bad. It's just not fun to play. It's just endlessly frustrating and like... So Sly 2, I'm not going to call it perfect, but it was like... It felt like a step up from Sly 1 in the racism department. Sly 3 took a nosedive, Sly 4 took it further.
Grim. Not ideal. Not what you want to hear.
Yeah. Right, because Sly 3 had this, like, character that you met basically right away, who was this, like, Australian Aboriginal man who speaks in, like, made-up gibberish and is a wizard, who is the only Australian Aboriginal character. And he's in it through the whole game. He keeps showing up. And it's just, like, kind of awful to look at every time. It's just, it feels very, like, embarrassing to be participating in this. And just, like, you know, and that is just, like, the most prevalent, like, early example of, like, the shit, right? Like, it's, like, a globe-trotting, like, thief guy adventure, right? Where, like, everyone's, like, a cartoon animal person, and it takes place in, like, the real-world map, and just, like, you go to these cultures, and the game does not treat these cultures very respectfully over and over and over and over and over and over again. Anyway, Sly 4 opens up with Sly meeting his ancestor, Ryuichi Cooper, the ninja who invented sushi. Voiced by Steve Bloom, who frankly should be very embarrassed about this.
Very embarrassed about the accent he's doing in every one of his lines.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
And like, I don't know, I don't have much to say beyond that because I haven't played much beyond that, and I don't know that I will. Like, you know.
It would be beautiful if you could free yourself without needing to, like, finish this. But who knows? Only time will tell.
Who knows?
Yeah. I feel we've been watching, like, a more anime than usual this season. Which mostly just means that, like, you've gotten in the practice of, like, putting on whatever, like, you know, isekai garbage while we're called together and we watch it together. But, like, you know, it's been fun. There's like a few things we've been like wanting to like check out, but we haven't really like taken the time to like sit down and watch because we haven't like the amount of things we can like opt into like doing for ourselves lately, like on our own time on our own behalf is like, you know, it feels like it kind of rotates in and out. And right now, like watching anime on our own is like not really on the table. Just sort of arbitrarily, but we have like, however, like returned to an era of just deciding to like want to read good comics and then reading the good comics, and that's pretty cool.
Good.
Yeah, we read like almost all of Dungeon Meshi over the last 5 days. which is like we finished it, but like we'd read like 15 chapters over like a few weeks before. We like talked a little bit about having like we're gonna like do like a manga book club thing. It didn't really wind up working for us, right? But we were still like, fuck, we want to read Dungeon Meshi, so we did. And that's a good fucking comic, it turns out.
That's a good fucking comic.
It's like a fucking comic. It's just like, it's just the most like beautifully crafted like wonderfully like fully bought into itself version of like playing a dungeon crawler and like making up stories about the guys that you like made up for your dungeon crawler video game. Like living history, like the monster encounters they have, like it really feels like it like comes out of that place and like spins out into something like really like impressive. It's just like a really warm, funny comic about guys getting into like monster situations and making food, and like also there's a plot or whatever. Like, you know, that stuff's all right, but like, you know, what's really good is when those guys are like being kind of annoying to each other and like fucking fighting a monster and deciding what they're gonna make with it. Right? That's the real shit. That's the real shit to us.
That's the real shit.
Which doesn't even say like be like derisive of the plot or whatever. It's just also like the sort of thing that's like ended recently enough, and like you haven't read the end of it. We're pretty sure, right? So we don't want to like dive into all of about that, right? But like, you know.
Yeah, no, I haven't read all of it. I got pretty close to the end and then stopped keeping up with it. And like, you know, the book club was supposed to help, and you know, I'm autistic, so like, I thought having that little bit of structure would like help me get through it again. But also, I have really bad ADHD and I can't do homework.
Yeah. We are like speaking as us Halo, like we're like really good at giving ourselves homework. And it turns out that doesn't really work for Cam. You know, something we learned. Alright, Dungeon Mesh is pretty fucking cool. It's just a good comic. You can read it. Maybe we'll talk about it more like more in depth at some point when like we've given it a bit of time to settle. Like maybe if you finished it, like if you ever like wind up doing that, we can like have a conversation on here. But like,
yeah, I mean,
also maybe we just talk about that not on the podcast, and that's fine too.
Okay, but like literally. How this is going to happen is you need to like gush to me about Dungeon Meshi and get me excited to read it, and then I will like hyper focus on it and read it in an evening, right? Like,
okay.
You just need to get me excited enough, and then I'll just blow through it, right?
Okay, all right. Well, we don't know that that's in the preview of this like opening segment. Like, we're not going to try and like pull that off right now. We're like, no. You know, we haven't really like ordered our thoughts, like organized them in a way that we would feel like confident about putting out a podcast or whatever. We just kind of like want to be like, hey, we read this. It's fucking sick.
It's a fucking good comic. Let's talk about Naruto.
Yeah, okay. Fuck talking about good shit. Let's talk about Naruto. We're like so down on like our fucking transition to talk about the Naruto episodes lately. Like, surely eventually we'll be like, fuck yeah, let's talk about Naruto again. But like,
yeah, until it's not again.
Until it's not again forever.
Episode 176. Run, dodge, zigzag, chase or be chased. The imposters talk about infiltrating the leaf and explode the cave the kids are trapped in, so they rush to figure out a way to survive without causing a big scene. Hinata uses her protective 64 palms after the boys chew through her bindings. Naruto grabs the treasure chest. There's no treasure, but he keeps the chest to set himself apart from the imposter. Kiba is Akamaru, and Hinata gets left behind because she's hurt, and a girl. The boys make it into town and start hollering about imposters before coming face to face with the goons.
But yes, all the kids are down in the fucking like pit that they got shoved into, you know, and the guys who are impersonated and the imposters are like, okay, all right, we're gonna like sneak into the village, we're gonna ruin everything, and Kiba's like, that's not gonna fucking work. You know, for a variety of reasons that like we kind of talked about like last week about like being skeptical about how this plan would go, but you know, they're like, actually we got some like information by somebody who knows a lot about the village, so we're like going to be able to sneak in and do a lot of damage actually. And Naruto launches into like what winds up being kind of like a running theme throughout this week's episodes of like the most half-assed attempts at like pretending that there's like anything tying into the broader plot of Naruto going on here, where like Naruto hears things like, fuck, that must be Orochimaru, I'm so fucking mad about Orochimaru, this must be an important story now.
God, you know one bad guy.
He like hasn't really like internalized the Akatsuki out there yet.
Yeah. Well, he's just thinking about Orochimaru a lot because of the Sasuke connection.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He's just thinking about his girlfriend. Sasuke.
Sasuke. Yeah. But anyway, those guys leave. They decide to like blow a bunch of rocks on the ceiling and drop them on the kids in the hole. It's normal stuff. It's like, okay, so we're not gonna play coy, but the fact that like this is like we were like talking about, like, yeah, this winds up being like a fake like teamwork test, right? Like this is very much the sort of thing where it's like, yeah, we could like they could like claim at the end of the episode that this was set up in a way that it wouldn't have been a problem, and not worry about the fact that they're going to explode a bunch of rocks to fall on them while they were tied up.
Right.
Like, there's this like throwaway line at the end of the episode. It's like, yeah, we actually had it set up to like at worst maybe have like a few broken bones or whatever. It's like, I don't know that you did. I don't know that you could. I mean, like, it's like this is something that really matters to get hung up on, but it's very
Well, like, Tsunade knows that all of them were like physically capable enough to survive that. Like, all of them had a trick that would get them through that. They like walked through it for everybody. It's just that Naruto and Kiba's would make the situation too loud. So like, any one of them could have defeated the rock obstacle.
Right. I mean, like, we're not like doubting that like, oh, the rock obstacle like wasn't actually like a serious problem or whatever. It's just like the assurance of like, oh, don't worry, like it wouldn't have really hurt you if the rocks fell on you is
yeah,
it feels like a spurious claim to make.
Yeah, right. It should be. It should have been. Yeah, we knew that like all of you individually could make it through the rock obstacle. So if it fell on you, like, fucking your fault.
Yeah, like, that's on you. Frankly, like, we've wasted the money we've put into your training. We might as well just fucking cut it off there. It wasn't about fucking like sending you back to fucking ninja kindergarten. It was about just fucking killing you suckers.
Well, I mean, not necessarily like about that, but also like, hey, sometimes you have to have like obstacles in your test that are like a dangerous situation because that's what you're testing, and just like, hey, if someone fails extra hard, that's just the losses you got to make, right? It's like the tuning exams.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. They break out of there. It's not a big deal. It's not an issue at all. Hinata still got her like special move from like the previous like arc she was in. We got a little bit of that like continuity that they're trying to build up. Kiba like tunnels out extremely fast. He's like learned a lot about like digging through rocks extremely rapidly since he got stuck in the fucking dome.
Got a lot of practice in. That was a tough dome.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a tough dome. They get it out. They have a bit of a moment, like, they make it out of the fucking like hole, and they're like, okay, we need to like assess the situation. We need to like figure out like what's going on with this team. We need to figure out like what the problem is. And basically what they break it down is like, okay, so like Naruto and Kiba, like we like get into fights too often. We're like too quick to like get each other's throats. It's like a problem. We need to like sort of like be willing to like listen to each other and like stand back rather than try to escalate things all the time. And like and the issue with Hinata is that like she's like too like. She's like too afraid to like ask for like help with what she needs, and it like often winds up like creating problems because she's not willing to like just like reach out for help. But like what this winds up being in practice is like, oh, the thing that Hinata should be willing to do is ask to be like put in the girl box and left behind.
Right. It's it's a problem they invented just now when she got hurt.
Right. Yeah.
Like, it'd be one thing if it was like a recurring like behavior and thing that was getting her and her friends into trouble in the same way that Naruto and Kiba were always arguing dickheads to each other.
Right. And like, even if you wanted to like build off the last like episodes, you could be like, okay, like the thing that Hinata needs to do is like be more confident, like asserting like her understanding of the situation because she keeps like going along with like Naruto shit and getting into trouble, right?
Right.
Like, she needs to be like more willing to like put that forward, but that's not the direction they go. It's like, yeah, Hinata, you need to be willing to ask to not be in the plot of the episode anymore.
Right. Oh my god, can you imagine if it was just like, okay, Hinata, like, you're the only one here that's like smart and understands what's going on. You need to actually like speak up when you know that we're doing something wrong.
Right.
Because we're just a bunch of stupid puppy boys.
Right. Like that is the thing you do. Like, that's like the resolution you bring to a character if you like want to like try and build off what you set up in your like, previous previous episode.
Oh my god.
But we don't get that.
They're so bad at writing girls.
They're so bad at writing girls over here. Getting Kishimoto out of the room does not help.
Oh my goodness. No, he had rules, right? Because like when you have, you know, when you're the author of something, and you have other people writing for that thing, right? Like an anime original content. You have guidelines and like rules for like, you know, how they're allowed to write. You know. One of them is that you're not allowed to do the girls good.
Yeah, you have to do it. Like, if you have to do it bad. Like, if you like set up something with a girl and you pay off on it in a way that, like, you know, is satisfying, you need to like take another writing pass at that one. Cut that shit out. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Can you like make it worse? It's important to make it worse.
If you like gesture at a character idea and just kind of leave it on the roadside forever, that's what we're like trying to do here.
Yeah. That's how we do it.
Yeah, I don't know. That's all we have to say about this half of the episode. How about you?
Yeah, that's about it. The imps drop a smoke bomb, and Naruto rushes to grab someone, but when the smoke clears, it looks like he's just bullying Hinata. So fake Naruto and Kiba try to make a scene of it before real Kiba decks his imposter, declaring that they can't fake their jutsu. He loses steam when he notices fake Kiba is knocked out from the punch. The boys realize these guys aren't really fighters, so the imps scatter. Kiba takes off after Hinata, and Naruto runs down himself. Naruto loses track of his imposter and ends up in trouble everywhere he goes from the other guy's mischief. He gets fed up and sends a clone army to track the guy down and eventually finds him. Turns out the whole thing was a test, and then they had a rocky start, they did the mission, and get a passing grade.
Yeah, so at the end of that previous half of the episode, you know, Naruto and Kiba and like I guess also Hinata have all had their like, you know, moment of reflection about the lesson they're supposed to learn. So the thing we need to do now is like instantly remove any possible tension from everything that happens for the rest of the episode. So you know, we learned that the imposters are weak as shit. They can be knocked out instantly. And that's you know, I mean that's not it, right? Like, but like that's like, you know.
That's basically it. Like the rest of it is just like funnies.
Right, that's what is just funny. Is like we had our like fucking like 10 minutes of Naruto being like, is Orochimaru involved in this? Then like, you know, we get our rest of the episode that's like yeah, the guy who's impersonating Naruto is being like really mean to him.
Like actually very severely mean. Like
he like breaks into his house.
He like breaks into this house and like ruins this kid's life with like everybody he knows, right? Like just like
yeah,
just like fully destroying him.
Fucking bankrupting this kid. Like Naruto's not learning anything from this. This guy's just being fucking mean,
right? Like Tsunoya's gonna have to put out an official statement being like, "Hey, we had like an imposter Naruto in town."
Yeah, sorry, I hired a fake Naruto, and he's a fucking piece of shit, and he like just died a dash on all of you.
Yeah, so if on this day between these hours, if Naruto was like a fuckhead to you, like please try to ignore that. It probably wasn't him.
Right. Especially if he didn't have like a treasure chest he was carrying around.
Yeah.
And eventually Naruto catches his imposter, you know. Kiba like catches up to the Hinata imposter and like threatens her a bunch until she like faints, so they don't have to animate him punching a girl.
Coward.
Frankly, yeah. And I don't know. That's basically it, right? They go back to it's not as obviously reveals it was a fucking like a fucking secret teamwork test. There's so little to say about half of the episode. It's nothing. It's nothing, right?
Yeah, it's nothing. Like the punchline is that actually at the end, Tsunade gets like another big bell, right?
Yeah, because she was like expecting these guys to work for free for some reason.
Yeah, after they were directly put in the line of fire by like someone who uses the gentle fist, a technique that can stop your heart. in
Right,
One
right.
Punch and Kiva and Naruto. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
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 Right, it's dangerous work. Those kids could fucking kill you.
Yeah, like the most lethal children on the fucking planet right here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, these three children that you're like affording extra care to because they punch above their weight class.
Mm-hmm.
You know, those
And are like a little bit too responsible to like handle the jobs without like making a big mess. Yeah, those children.
Yeah, those children.
Okay, could you make them want to kill you? Could you like convince them that you're trying to root to like, you know, destroy their home real quick?
Also for free.
Also for free.
Goodness gracious.
That's gracious. Anything else you want to say about this one?
No, that's good.
Okay, let's move on. Let's move on.
Episode 177. Please, Mr. Postman. On the road, Naruto helps a delivery doll named 596-03, who explains how it's like a cool ninja mailman. Naruto runs across Jiraiya, but he's just slacking off. Naruto wants training, but Jiraiya insists on finishing his manuscript for his new gross book for Grosso guys. So Naruto does his best to help, but serving Jiraiya is a lot of work. Not wanting to wait anymore, Naruto stays up all night to finish the book and hands it off to a delivery doll passing through named 463-72. But oops, lol, he fell on the stairs and mixes up the packages with someone else's, going the opposite way. Jiraiya wakes up and demands they fetch the manuscript so his publisher doesn't drop him for Naruto's shitty writing.
So this episode starts off. I mean, it starts off with like the little bit of Naruto meeting the delivery doll, as you put it.
Mm-hmm.
What's the title card, kids? We get like a very ill omen of like, you know, we get the normal reading the title, and then there's like a million fucking sexy jutsu noises overlaid on it.
I love that you say sexy jutsu noises, because that's just moaning. If you didn't know, if you hadn't seen the show, and you were like curious
Right.
what sexy jutsu noises could mean, it's like girl moans.
Yes, girl moans.
But yeah.
But yeah, it's very like, okay, we've just kind of put Naruto like in a place arbitrarily. It's very much like it starts off. It's like, yeah, he's like coming back from like a job he hates and thinks didn't matter. Classic stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, encounters the mailman. It's like
The mailmen are so funny to me. Because that's just kind of a thing that normal ninja is supposed to do.
Right. Yeah, like like they've got like intelligence guys like messengers and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, the mailmen are very
Like, I imagine delivering ninja mail is something that you send like a bunch of fucking like Genin on, right? Like, that's one of the missions that Naruto would be like, coming home from being like, oh, that didn't fucking matter. I just had to deliver a fucking package. This sucks. Nothing even happened, right?
Nothing even happened, right? Or if it's like a very like important like fucking piece of mail, as like happens later in this episode, you may be sent a guy who isn't in a very recognizable uniform.
Right. Oh my goodness. Oh god. But it's okay. The delivery dolls are freaks, and I love them.
Okay, yeah, you want to talk about that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just like a bunch of like identical-looking male weirdos with fucking numbers stamped on their foreheads, right?
Yeah, those are the only names they go by.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just sort of like mutually agreed to all be perverts about this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whether by like transformation jutsu or getting like fucked up ninja surgery,
Yeah.
who knows?
Who knows?
That's what I thought about fucked up ninja surgery. It's like probably pretty normal ninja surgery to just all look the same. But like, you know,
Yeah.
The thing that winds up feeling kind of weird about this episode to us is like due to the way they've decided to like structure this, like, you know, in between part 1 and part 2 anime original stretch, like they've put them in a situation where they need to like contrive like a reason for Jiraiya to be here.
Yeah.
Which is like, it's just weird, right? It's just like, because the thing that Jiraiya is supposed to care about right now is like training Naruto and making sure he doesn't get like captured by the Akatsuki and killed. And like when you like make an episode that's so like explicitly about like, okay, Naruto's going to like stumble across Jiraiya and Jiraiya is going to like be fucking out of here by the end of the episode. And he's like literally going to talk about how he's like trying to find the Akatsuki. It just like it's just drawing attention to itself a little bit too much, right? Like it's very
God, can you imagine how much better this whole stretch would be if Naruto was just like with Jiraiya the whole time and all of the like other missions didn't have Naruto in them?
Yeah. We like talked about this in a previous episode, we're pretty sure, right? But it's like like every time it's just like it would be cool if like we got little like Naruto and Jiraiya stories, and then you wouldn't have to like do the version of Jiraiya who like doesn't really seem to give a shit about Naruto at all,
right?
To like justify him like leaving again or whatever, and you would like have room to put a more like organic spotlight on the other characters that didn't need to feed back into like Naruto winning the fight or whatever.
It just kind of feels like a no-brainer, and you have to wonder why they did what they did instead.
Like maybe it just kind of comes down to like, oh, we can't like not have Naruto in the show for that long. He's in the fucking like title. But like
that's so vapid though.
Right. I mean, like ultimately it's all speculative. Like we can't know for sure, right? But anyway, Jiraiya fucking sucks in this episode, right? Like it's just Jiraiya at his worst in every way. It's just like he's just like the frivolous guy who like seems like he's kind of annoyed by Naruto unless Naruto is doing sexy jutsu, in which case he's like extremely horny. He's just like, he's out here being shitty to women. He's out here like fucking trying to blow Naruto off. It's just like this character can be better than this, and like he definitely suffers like very heavily from like this sort of thing we've talked about of how like every character in the anime original stuff is just kind of at their like most basic, like here's where they are when they were introduced kind of thing, right?
Right, and also like when he was introduced, he was like kind of putting it on so people would leave him the fuck alone.
Yeah.
Right. Like that is also a thing about Jiraiya that like this part of it doesn't seem to get, is that like he's kind of an annoying old man on purpose a lot of the time.
But he's just annoying. He's such an annoying guy. He doesn't want to be in the fucking show.
Right.
We do get another like extremely brief gesture. Like, oh, what if we what if we put something that matters on screen? Like Jiraiya's like, oh, a Akatsuki guy's gonna like show up here soon. I'm waiting to see him. Like, can you imagine at the end of this fucking shitty episode? Like, oh shit, you see Deidara for the first time.
That'd be badass.
No, they're gonna do some fucking bullshit, And Naruto's gonna like try his hand at writing Jiraiya's weird porn, and send it off to get delivered to Jiraiya's editor, and do the obvious setup like, oh no, the mail gets mixed up and the mailmen run off, and it's, I don't know, there's not much more we have to say about like this half of the episode, right? Like
yeah.
Want to move on?
Jiraiya tracks down the delivery doll and knocks it out. But oh no, the package isn't the manuscript. It's an important peace offering between two smaller nations. Naruto and Jiraiya rush off to deliver the peace treaty to the right guy, but the delivery doll warns all the other dolls about them. Naruto and Jiraiya travel by Rasengan speedboat, while an army of delivery dolls chase after them. They catch up to the doll thereafter and explain the situation, but it refuses to break the rules even if they have its sympathies. The doll delivers the manuscript to the local lord, but it turns out he's a Grosso guy, so he loves Jiraiya's work and decides to call off the war on his own. Lol.
Okay. So yeah, Jiraiya and Naruto are like chasing down the first mailman, right? The first delivery doll. It's we get like our first brief comedy chase scene, which like basically amounts to like, oh, they go to a town that's shaped like a maze, and then Jiraiya destroys a bunch of houses, to see where the guy went, rather than like getting up on the roofs. Like it's very easy, and then they like just cut over to like an unrelated forest, and Jiraiya like knocks the mailman out instantly, which is like again another like. The delivery ninja guys, we get this like there's not a lot of effort like put into making them look especially competent,
right? And like obviously a random delivery doll isn't gonna stand up to fucking Jiraiya. But, like...
Right.
But you still gotta, like, put a little effort into showing that, like, you know, it's not making it easy for him either.
Right, but no, Jiraiya just, like, hits this guy once and knocks him out, right? Like, the only situation in which, like, one of these, like, delivery guys isn't immediately stopped is, like, later in this episode where Naruto's like, oh, I don't want to hit this guy about it, he's just trying to do his job, right? But, like, if anybody's like, yeah, I see a fucking, like, delivery ninja going to the place where,
God, you know what a delivery ninja would have to do in that situation? Substitution jutsu be fucking gone. Keep moving.
Right, yeah. We just get a bunch of chumps who get, like, beat up instantly, which is, like, again, like, it's just very hard for us to, like, buy into the, like, idea of these guys, like, that they just made up for this episode, like, I mean, obviously it's hard for us to buy into these guys that they just made up for this episode, like, mattering to the world, but also they don't really, like, put on a show of it, right? It's just, like, here's a bunch of chumps who can get owned, but sometimes they get trusted with, like, really important things for some reason.
Maybe it's just for, like, the smaller nations that don't have big hidden villages.
Right, they don't have, like, small hidden villages, and they don't feel like they could, like, pay, like, an actual ninja.
Right. Maybe it's like a... I mean, it's obviously not because Jiraiya talks about them like they're a big fucking deal, right? But, like...
Uh-huh.
Rethinking it could be kind of cute if it's like, those guys that are, like, almost ninja and deliver mail. That could be dangerous if, like, you know.
Right.
Yeah. But,
like, it feels like I don't know, like, maybe it doesn't matter to be like, oh, well, like, what we could do to make this episode better, but, like, it feels like maybe the things you would have been, like, what if you, like, just kind of, like, focus it on, like, oh, here's, like, the process of, like, catching this one guy or whatever, right? And then you got the fucking, like, ninja mailman doing fucking, like, Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner shit with Jiraiya, right? Like,
right. Like,
I don't know, just, like...
Just make him fucking good at it, at least.
Right, instead of just, like, okay, well, we're gonna, like, summon a horde of, like, delivery guys who are just in the area to, like, get beat up. Like, they have, like, a chase scene on a boat, but, like, they don't really, like...
They don't do anything there.
Right, they don't do anything. They, like, cut the oars off of the boat, and then they're just like, well, shit, now what? They just kind of sit around and let them do the Rasengan speedboat shit, right? Which, like, when tried to listen to, like, Rasengan speedboat shit, Naruto was like, damn, you're making the Rasengan, like, fucking lame. And they just kind of move on with it. It's like, yeah, you kind of are, but, like, you know, what can you do?
What can you do?
What can you do?
It's like, yeah, it would probably make it a good speedboat. Sure.
Would it?
I don't know. Probably not.
Because, like, the thing that had happens is, like, you know, they keep needing to, like, push the Rasengan into the water to, like, propel the boat forward a little bit and do that over and over again, right? Which, like, makes sense, because you could just, like, hold it down there, because that thing's, like, spinning in a million directions, as opposed to, like, you know...
Right, it has to be, like, kind of a directional burst of it.
Uh-huh.
But... I don't know.
Like, it seems pretty inefficient, but, you know...
Yeah, but for that, like... I want to say 100 feet it gets you? Pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Pretty good. Makes a big wave that, like, fucking pushes all the guys who are chasing after you away for a little bit.
Also, I love that Jiraiya does it, like, 6 times and is like, alright, Naruto, you do the rest.
It's training. It's fine.
Yeah, it's training. So, do you want to talk about the omen?
Yeah. So Naruto is, like, catching up to the guy who actually has, like, the fucking, like, the Grosso guidebook manuscript that he wrote, and he's like, wait, no, this is a big deal. You're gonna start a war, and he's like, no, I don't care. I have to do my job right. It's more important. And Naruto tries to do his fucking sexy jutsu shit. And this guy is so brave and heroic that he's just not moved by it, you know? He just doesn't, like... Mm-hmm. Or he's just a pervert about different shit, you know? He's, like, so on his, like...
Yeah, it's the pervert about being a male doll.
Yeah. Like, it's fine that you've got your own, like, a bunch of identical people thing going on, but that's just not what this guy's here for, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No room to love anything other than other male dolls in its heart.
Yeah. Yeah, and so it delivers the book, and then the guy is just like, "Oh hell yeah, Jiraiya's new book! I'm gonna go whack off immediately." Also, someone mailed the other guy, tell him there's peace. Actually,
Yeah, don't come in here.
don't come in here ever.
And Jiraiya is humiliated that he's not better at writing porn than a 12-year-old, and that's the end of the episode.
Yep, sure is.
Anyway, yeah, sure is.
I was just gonna also say that, like, so much of the conflict in this episode can be avoided by them just deciding to, like, be there to arrive with the package and explain it.
Mm-hmm. And then just send it back.
Yeah.
I'd be like, actually, you need to go here.
Right.
Because it's not like even in like the worst case scenario, this guy's gonna be like, oh shit, I received this like sex book. I have to go to war instantly now.
Right. It's just like, I don't know, I feel like, and like, yeah, you could say like, oh, obviously fucking the easy way out is to avoid the conflict, right? But like, there's a fucking story to tell. But like, go fuck yourself. It's contrived.
There's not a fucking story to tell.
Right.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Right. Like, I don't know. Like when I say that, what I'm getting across is that like the story just like feels like contrived and pointless, right?
Right. Like, it's not fundamentally more interesting than, like, immediately resolving it with no tension, because there's nothing to really, like, fucking sink your teeth into here. It all feels fake.
Right. Anyway.
Ready to move on?
Yeah, let's talk about the next one. Episode 178. Encounter. The Boy with a Star's Name. Tsunade gets a messenger pigeon from the village hidden in the stars about a mission. Sakura explains to Naruto about the weird meteor history on the village, and why an itty-bitty ninja village would hire another bigger, stronger one. Naruto doesn't seem to buy it, and decides Orochimaru is behind it, so he bribes Tsunade with treats to be put on the squad with Neji, Lee, and Tenten. In the Star Village, we see some kids do a purple chakra meteor training. The instructor guy is kind of a dick about one of the kids being hurt. Naruto runs on ahead and almost jumps into the death fog mode. He gets stopped by Gas Mask Crossbow guy just in time, though. They have a quick tussle before the rest show up and explain the death fog. Crossbow guy introduces himself as Sumeru, a star shinobi, but Naruto still kinda hates his ass. Did not S-rank that one.
Right, so the way this episode begins is kind of fascinating to us, because you start it up, right? And like there's something like almost resembling like ambition, as it's like, oh yeah, like the first like minute and a half of the episode's got like no dialogue. It's like, we see this like meteor like crash into the ground and like slowly zooms in and the crater forms, and then we like cut up to the sky and it like flies over to like the hidden leaf, and then we see the fucking like messenger pigeon arrive at the hidden leaf or whatever, right? It's like, you know, it's like trying to like set the stage of like set this to be like something kind of like grand and like big by like, you know, just sort of like letting the like visual like setup exist in like in silence or whatever, and then like immediately falls apart and becomes like the sloppiest shit in the world the instant anybody needs to start talking.
Yeah,
like the setup of this one is just a fucking mess. Like you know, Tsunade gets the like the message like, oh, there's like a mission going on here. We cut over to like Sakura being like, oh yeah, I heard about this mission that like Neji and Tenten and Lee are going on. And Naruto is like, that sounds stupid and fake and bullshit about like every part of it. It's like, it sounds like fucking, like obviously fucking meteors don't crash onto the earth. That's some shit somebody made up. Obviously fucking a ninja village wouldn't need to hire other ninjas. This is all fucking dumb. Until he just decides like, actually, Orochimaru could be there. And then, like, goes to take advantage of Tsunade's, like, never-before-seen character trait of, like, enjoy sweets enough to be bribed by them to, like, get his way onto the mission. And it's like,
I don't know, sometimes you're just in the right mood, and, like, someone's just, like, give you a piece of candy for something, and you're just like, fuck. Okay. I don't know, I get it.
We don't. We're not handing it to them. We're sorry, like, you know. You're welcome to, but...
I mean, I also have to imagine Tsunade is the kind of person that's just like, oh, Naruto wants something. Yeah.
Naruto stopped fucking bothering me for a while. Alright, yeah, sure, you go on this mission.
Yeah, alright, piece of candy, badass.
They're just gonna be like, fuck yeah, you sent Naruto onto fucking, like, work on a mission with me again? I mean, he's not, because, like, the Neji who, like, worships Naruto doesn't exist, in this part of the anime, really. But, like...
Yeah. it would be so fun to explore Neji in the like time skip period, right? Like that could have been juicy. That could have been good.
Yeah.
Right, Neji just like going on missions and like sometimes having to like think about what Naruto would do, like so choice.
This fucking WWND bracelet. Yeah, no, we're looking at this being the start of a dark. Like we're like curious but not hopeful to see if this is like is this the time they bring Neji on a mission to let him do anything? Like probably not, right? But like
I don't know, probably not.
But like maybe, like probably not.
It's looking like Naruto's just gonna Rasengan somebody.
Right, it's like Naruto's gonna hang out with the new friend and Rasengan somebody, but like maybe they'll choose to use the characters they've brought into this arc for something.
They might even whip out a purple Rasengan.
Oh fuck, he's gonna do a purple Rasengan with the fucking boy here.
Oh my god.
It's just like a movie.
It's just like a movie. Oh my god. No, it would be very brave of them to whip out a purple Rasengan here. Which is to say, I don't think they're gonna like have the guts.
Okay. Well, we'll see how that goes in like a week or two, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, we cut over to the village hidden in the stars. You know, we see them in their fucking like sitting out around a rock chakra training thing. We see the fucking like mean guy. This guy's obviously fucking bad news, evil guy or whatever, right?
Can
like,
we
he's
talk
mean
about
to this kid?
Can we talk about the village hidden in the stars for a sec?
Right, like what's your take on this? Because to us it seems like the fakest fucking place they've ever tried to tell us about.
It's like one building that you're not allowed to get too close to.
Right. There's like a couple other buildings around the side of it, but like at its heart, it's like
and like the way they talk about this location is like, oh, this is a place like outside the village that is like secret and like heavily guarded. And like this is as close as you're about to get, as like you're allowed to get. But it's also like the only place we see. So,
we think we see like a few like buildings. Like we see like because there's like the place where they meet up with the like deputy Hoshikage guy, and there's like a few like maybe like a few pan shots past some like houses or whatever. But it's definitely like a small town and then extremely conspicuous crater,
right.
And then. Like it is probably it is like the least hidden location it could be in.
Right. Anyway, this place is like super pretend.
Right. The fucking like the symbol on the headband is so fucking like you're not gonna like try to do like anything to like sort of like stylize it. It's just like a normal star shape. Like it's just one fucking normal continuous star shape. It looks like. It's like this isn't real. You're fucking making like and like none of it's real. It's all made up. But like it's so like. Like, oh yeah, it's the fucking village hidden in the stars, the land of bears. It's surrounded by a fucking poison moat that everybody dies if they get too close to. They just have, you just have an eternal fucking poison ravine. Like, so something about it is just like they present this place to us, and we're just like, this is fucking. No, like you're fucking kidding us. Stop it. Put like a little more thought into this. Come on.
It's just a little silly goofy.
Just a little silly goofy. But like they're trying to take they want us to take it very seriously.
Right,
you know?
Yeah, no, this is a real place.
This is a real place, right? Like this is a real place. This place has like okay, this is gonna get to the next half of the episode a little bit. This is a place with like fucking geopolitical ambitions, you know, that Naruto believes in. This is a place with like
yeah.
God.
Do you think they ever do it?
No.
Oh, we should probably talk about what that is.
Right. Do you want to talk about that now, or do you want to like wait a little bit?
No, let's continue on with the order of things.
We got a little interrupted. Like another thing that feels like kind of sloppy about this arc, which is like, you know, when we have the fucking like rock practice where they're all sitting around the rock and like doing their fucking like meteorite chakra shit or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy comes in there, like, it just feels like the most, like, oh, here's the fucking problem guy. Like, he shows up, he's, like, mean to an injured kid. Like, later in the episode, he's, like, dismissive of, like, the boy that Naruto's gonna be friends with, right? Like fucking...
Yeah, here's the freako, this arc.
Right, like, it's... Like, we would be, you know, we would be surprised if this guy was, if, like... this guy wasn't like, oh, he's the guy who's like causing problems or whatever, right? Because it just feels so transparent, and like we haven't like had cause to like second guess those like, oh, this is the obvious immediate thing impulses with a lot of this stuff, right? It's just like, here's the guy who shows up, and the first thing we do is that we see him do is be mean to a kid,
Right.
who is injured.
Right.
Anyway, we cut back to Naruto, who's about to like fucking jump into some poison and die. He gets a crossbow shot at him. Fucking Sumaru shows up, and we're like, we're like really speedrunning like Naruto like butting heads with the guy to like learning to like a guy here, right? Like you know, in this half of the episode, it's all like butting heads, right? But like, you know, we get like a couple of minutes of like Naruto being like, I'm so pissed off at you. You shot a fucking crossbow at me to like keep me from dying to poison.
Right, and like, you know, we're not quite there yet, but he does fall in love with the boy immediately, like a minute later.
Right. It's also very funny to us that like when like when they're like, Naruto, no, that's fucking poison gas you almost jumped into. They like point to like a bird that just conveniently like flies into it and dies instantly.
Yeah.
It's like just like the most heavy-handed possible illustration of it, when it then like also cuts to the bottom of the fucking like death fog ravine and you see like cow skeletons.
Where'd the cows fall in? I feel like
They just push a cow in there every once in a while to make sure the fucking like poison moat is still active.
I feel like most cows would not even have to get that far into the moat. Like, I feel like most cows would simply fall and die.
Right.
I feel like the poison gas doesn't do much for cows. It's a big pit.
It's a big pit.
Why are there cow skeletons down there to show that it's poison gas?
Why are there birds that just fly through this area and fucking drop into it all the time? Why is the fact that this guy's got like a gas mask on, like, not enough to be like, oh shit, oh, there's like poison here, right? Like,
throw a cow down there.
it's just fucking like cartoon danger poison also on top of like
Yeah.
the land of stars and like land of bears, the village of the stars is so fucking fake. It's so fake, we can't handle it. Anyway, do you want to move on? Yeah.
The kids meet with the deputy Hoshikage of the Hidden Star, but the kids are confused because only the leader of the 5 great ninja villages can be Kage. But there's a whole thing about how they're shooting for the 6th and are already walking the walk about it. Sumeru says he's going to be the Hoshikage when that happens, and Naruto falls in love with him and chases him down after he runs off. The rest get a briefing on the mission. Naruto lets Sumeru info dump about his name a little, and they hit it off. Gas mask person swipes the star before Sumeru shows up with Naruto. He was going to show him the Star Temple, but they spot the thief. Naruto chases after them, and Sumeru checks up on his friends in the temple. Naruto and the thief tussle. They use the same purple chakra projection as Sumeru does, but the thief backs off and flies away when Sumeru shows up for support.
But yeah, they like you said, they meet up with a very suspicious guy who's like, yeah, I'm the deputy Hoshikage. They have their like, wait, you're like way too dinky to like have a title like that. You don't get to like matter like on the like international scale like that. And like, you know, fucking Sumaru like interrupts to be like, I'm the fucking yeah, but like, you know, we're gonna be great, and I'm gonna be the fucking Hoshikage. And Naruto's like, oh my god, you're the best ever. He's just like looking at it with fucking stars in his eyes. And fucking the deputy Hoshikage is like, fucking shut up, get out of here. Naruto chases after him, and he's like, yeah, basically says the same thing again, but like, yeah, we're gonna be the fucking, you know, like, we have this meteor power, it's gonna make us like really strong, like inevitably this is gonna like drive us to be like the fucking like 6th major player in this world, right? Which is like, again, you're aiming too fucking high for this to not feel like extremely fake, right? Like,
Right, they're not gonna make it the fucking 6 Kage summit, right? Like,
right. Like, we're not gonna be like, oh yeah, like last time we watched the anime, we forgot that there was like we forgot the fucking Subaru was there, and just fucking bullshit star headband. We forgot that he was like the anime. They just completely made up these. Like, no, it's like they're like, if it's like, oh yeah, we go to this small country and like somebody wants to be like a good ruler, they have like this like dream of like, making things nice there. We can like maybe plausibly believe that like once we like leave, it was like, yeah, surely that's gonna happen. But it was like, yeah, we're gonna become the fucking like
we're gonna become important, guys. We're gonna become important to the story of Naruto, we swear.
It's like, even if this arc ends with like Naruto being like, yeah, I'm gonna believe in your resolve to do that, like eventually we'll get like have like fucking Kage meetups together. It's like, no, like you're not gonna fucking appear again ever after like 5 episodes at most, right? Like,
yeah, like sorry, bud. Like maybe like okay. If you're like really memorable, we like might put you in Boruto.
Right, like we might make a callback, but like we don't think they're gonna make the cut here, frankly.
No. How much you want to bet their meteor just stops working? Like it just runs out of juice. And so like Naruto as a whole doesn't have to worry about it anymore.
This is very possible.
And then Sumeru can be like, oh well, I'm gonna keep working hard and become a great shinobi, and Naruto can be like, yeah, bud.
Yeah, bud. Sure thing. Anyway, like Naruto's chasing after Sumeru to go talk to him more. We feel like there's like, I mean, like you said, Naruto's like instantly in love with this boy.
Mm-hmm.
But we feel like there keeps being these moments of like they kind of like bend over backwards to be like, oh, but there's still tension here, even though like,
yeah, the boy doesn't quite trust him yet.
Yeah, right. And I was like, hey, why don't you trust me? He's like, this is just my personality. I'm just like this. I just don't. The thing I do is not trust you.
I have autism.
Right, and like rather than Naruto like having like any fucking like actual like the thing to get into an argument with this guy, but instead he just like runs up and like misremembers his name at first, which like causes like a little bit of prickliness until like Samaru's like, yeah, I'm gonna talk about my name, like how I'm named after the star or whatever, right?
Yeah, and they hit it off a little.
Mm-hmm. We're curious if they're gonna like settle into like the thing we're in, right, is if they're gonna like settle into that like state of like, oh, they've hit it off, or if like they're going to like keep like oscillating from like, yeah, we're like cool till it's like, oh, we're like mad at each other and like we need to learn to work together. Like we're curious how like much they're gonna like because if this is just like, oh, Naruto ultimately like goes over here and like makes a ninja friend, they like hang out for this arc, that could be like fun enough. But if it's like ping pong back and forth, refusing to commit to like the way these characters like feel about each other until they like resolve it and then leave forever, it's gonna be like, that's gonna be annoying.
It's gonna be annoying, and you know what?
Mm-hmm.
I don't expect much.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be a return to past behavior for the writing and anime original Naruto.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
To be about that exactly.
Yeah.
Remember Soup?
Yeah.
Remember the Curry of Life?
Yeah. Who could ever forget? They fucking called back to the Curry of Life at the start of this episode. So I was like, yeah, the Curry of Life mission went so fucking well. We're gonna like send Naruto over to that team because they do great work together. Like, we guess they did kill one of the 7 ninja swordsmen of the mist or whatever, but like, wasn't a great showing for basically anybody.
No. Yeah, so they go to the rock temple to see the rock, and Sumeru's all like, and stop. This is as close as you get, bucko.
I'm like, wow, they're arguing about this. A fucking mysterious gas mask guy takes the rock. Fuck.
Yeah, fuck.
Naruto's gonna try and fight them. Like, we feel like we've talked about how like in a lot of the anime original stuff, like the way things go is that Naruto fights really bad until it's time for him to do the Rasengan.
Yeah.
But this is maybe our like favorite ever instance of it. Because like Naruto does this thing where like, he's like throwing a bunch of shurikens to like distract the like fucking like purple chakra projection like tails like swatting around, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's like intentional that like a lot of time this feels like it's like sort of like evoking the like chakra tails you get in like tailed beast shit, or is it just like a coincidence? It's just like,
I don't know. I don't think they knew.
Yeah, fair enough. But anyway, like Darsh like throws a bunch of like shuriken strike that like has a bunch of shadow clones jump up to like hold the fucking thief in place, and then like takes it like uses some more shadow clones to throw his real body head first, arms like stuck to his sides, doing nothing else but barreling at this person head first. And gets like fucking swatted out of the sky with his real body that he threw at them for some reason.
Like,
It's so fucking funny.
I love the idea that whenever Naruto does an attack, he like sets up a bunch of shadow clones and they like do an attack, but he always just like doesn't mind where he ends up in the arrangement, and like sometimes he uses the projectile.
God.
Like that's why he's always catching people off guard when he has a bunch of shadow clones, because like he's never the one that they expect is like the real one.
Right, because he's just not keeping track.
He's just not keeping track.
Well, it's like a staple of like anime original comedy scenes. We feel like to have like the shadow clones be fucking confused about like be confused by themselves. So like maybe this is just true, right? Like,
right, every Naruto there, every clone thinks it's the real one.
That's why they're able to fight so well with such conviction. Like the real Naruto doesn't even get the last hit of the fucking Uzumaki barrage every time. That'd be beautiful.
Naruto should have been more plural.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. But it won't be.
Well.
Well, I don't know. Is there anything else you want to say about this one? We kind of like burned through our last enthusiasm talking about Naruto's terrible attack that we love, but like, you know,
Yeah,
if you got more you want to say.
No, I'm done.
Okay, all right, yeah. Let's put a fucking pin in this one then.
Hell yeah! What are we watching next week?
Next week we're watching episodes 179, 180, and 181 of Naruto.
Badass.
Badass.
Hey, and if you can't wait, check us out on Patreon. That's patreon.com/Konoha Crush. All one word, Konoha Crush. For just $3 a month, you get access to episodes up to a week early. And for a little bit more, you get access to our bonus show, Narukai Uzumaki, where we talk about like isekai and isekai adjacent stuff. We've been watching through Sword Art Online Alicization, the first season of that.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna do a recording about it pretty soon, so keep your peepers open.
Mm-hmm.
And while we're on the Patreon, I want to offer a very special shout out to our joining tier patrons. That's Izzy and our lovely wife.
Wow.
Yeah, check out their stuff. Subspace Skater, wherever you care to look for them. And they released like 2 chapters of a comic while we were on hiatus.
Yeah. Go back and check it out.
Yeah, go read the comic. What's it called and where do you find it?
It's called My Life Can't Go On Without Me. It's where do you find it? We think the pin post on their Tumblr links to it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Subspace Skater. All one word, Subspace Skater. And I don't know, I stream on Twitch.
Well, we also stream on Twitch.
Whoa! You can find my streams over at twitch.tv/GuinevereTeeth. That's GUINEVERETEEF. We stream we've been doing Wind Waker Randomizer and working through the Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm games. We're on the last one of that.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I don't know. Come hang out.
Yeah, and we're on basically all of we're on basically all of Cam streams, and also in addition to that, we stream at twitch.tv/VerdictVelvet, where we've been playing through all the Fire Emblem games. We're closing in on the finale of the first half of Genealogy of the Holy War right now. That's been a lot of fun. And we're looking forward to seeing more of that.
Hell yeah.
That sounds interesting. You come check it out.
Yeah. So unless you have anything else to shout out.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
That'll be the end of the podcast. Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening. And remember, there is no such thing as filler.